you go out on the mat, what are you thinking about?
Nothing. I'm trying to clear my mind. I know if I am thinking about something, then something's wrong. Are you guys excited to be here today? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Are you guys excited?
I think it was predetermined when it was a boy and he was naming him Gable. Like it was basically what was happening. So I think he first stepped on the mat when he was 3.
3,
right?
yeah.
In Trainer, Iowa. And I remember Scott texting me, I don't think we had picture cameras then, that he had a good practice, but he peed on a mat.
Yeah. So he's been wrestling before he was housebroke. So 3 years old, and yeah, and he peed on the mat. He got better at both.
Very beginning, a lot of my dad, he was always there coaching me. We'd go in the basement, didn't even have a mat. It was just carpet, and we would work out there.
We were young. Real young, probably like 5 or 6, wrestling back at our old club at Cobra, and yeah, we were wrestling together ever since we were little. He has not changed a whole lot. He's still hard-headed, and you know, he works really hard still.
I think the first time I remember seeing Gable was at a competition. He was probably in the 6th grade. It was at a freestyle tournament, and he was just bulldozing guys at that age already, and it was just impressive right away, even at a young age like that.
I was a good, kid coach at the time. Supportive. I would get on him sometimes after a win. I really would never after he would get beat, and he was, he's already upset about it. And then 7th grade came along, and that's when I realized that, he's probably going to need a lot more advanced coach than, hey, do a single leg. So it worked out great. We got Massey involved, and just been making improvements ever since.
Gable has always had a great work ethic. He's always been level-headed. He's somebody who's really strong and always been very strong, but works hard to be that strong. It's not like he doesn't put stress on himself, it's just he expects a lot from himself, not only just when he wrestles in a match, but during practice and during his off the mat training. He expects a lot from himself, and therefore there's no pressure. He just goes out there and he trusts himself. He trusts his corner, and that's the biggest thing. He trusts himself in his training, and therefore there's not a whole lot of pressure there.
We have a big meet tomorrow at Oakland, and that's districts. So I want you guys all out there supporting, and I just want to see everybody, all the wrestlers, stand up for a second. Middle school, elementary, high school. If you guys could just stand up, give these guys a round of applause. And just looking to grow the sport of wrestling through before you guys. Trials. I wanted, I saw like the robes, that's been a big thing. So I was thinking I wanted something different. I don't want to be like everybody else. So poncho came up, kind of like the Clint Eastwood movie with the cowboy. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I got that right before then. And it's kind of just grown into more and more. And yeah. That's pretty much it.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you.
We came up with this, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And basically you flip it and it goes around. So it's my turn right now. And I missed. So if everybody else lands it, then they all get a punch in like the arm.
Or you have to turn to water bottle.
Yeah, or you have to drink it.
Tom, what'd you put in it?
I don't know what's in it.
He's just a great kid. He's very focused, and everybody would probably guess that by his personality, but he's a lot of fun. And you wouldn't really know that from being an outsider, because he doesn't open up he's not real comfortable doing that right away. But once you get around him, he's in here jabbering around. You can see it's smiling nonstop. At an event, you're not going to see him smiling a lot. You know, he's focused and he stays serious, loose, but focused.
I have a couple classes with him, and all my classes that I have with him, he's always like laughing, always making other people laugh. He's always just a jokester and just a super kind, really sweet person. Like, he's just a great person to talk to.
So as a friend, yeah, he's a great friend. Lots of jokes, you know, can always count on him for things, and fun to be around. And then you would not want to be around him on the mat, though. For sure, he'll mess you up.
You're glad he's on your side?
Yeah, I'm glad he's my teammate.
Well, basically, I call them speed drills. There's a bunch of different ones I do, but it's basically doing fast feet or like something explosive into a short burst of a sprint. It's only like 3 or 4 steps, but other than that, it goes by pretty quick, and it's not really to get me tired or anything. It's just to work on my speed. It's just nice to get it in because I usually have 2.5 hours before practice after school.
I think it's supposed
He is so bad at spike ball, it's not even funny. He is like, he just really does not know what to do with his hands. He'll try to hit the spike ball in the net, and with his left hand, he is like one arm behind his back. He can't use it. He's terrible.
He thinks he's Evel Knievel on his dirt bikes. So, you know, he thinks he's a pretty good dirt bike rider. And he's not bad, but he's, he drives way faster than he should for as much as he gets to go out and actually do it. So he really enjoys that. I think he thinks that's one of his calling.
I've heard the dirt bike stories. Would you say you're a good dirt biker?
Depends on the day.
He's crazy into shoes. He's got every dumb pair of tennis shoes that there are.
So he's always had a love of jumping. Like, and they would go to other people's houses. They made YouTube videos. He tried to, like, I don't know. It's all about, like, trampoline. And we have a trampoline still in the backyard, and he loves to jump. There was a time, do you remember when they were trying to recruit him onto a diving team? Like, with no, like, the kid can barely swim, really. But, yeah, diving is something, like, the kid has zero fear. And he will just go off the high dive or the, what's the really tall one? The platform, and just flip.
Sometimes, even though when you don't want to do it, that's the days you really need to do it. I probably only want to work out, like actually want to work out 60, 70% of the time. But you just gotta get through it, and you'll thank yourself for doing that later.
Yeah, so I'm partners with him a lot, which is always nice because once we start rolling, you know, it's not a lot of joking around. It's getting to the point and getting better. And, you know, he's a great leader. He runs us through our warm-up and our drills, so he helps a lot.
He would take his medal, his second place medal, and he always had it in the morning. He'd put it around his pull-up bar because he hated seeing that he got second. So it just motivated him. He'd wake up in the morning doing pull-ups. He didn't ever want to see a second place medal again.
On the mat, he is like very determined, always working hard, always outworking me. But yeah, he works so hard constantly. I try to keep up with him, and sometimes it's too tough.
I don't think so. I don't even think he's even scratched the surface yet with what he can do, the skill set he has. The impressive part for him more than anything is not the natural given ability that some guys have had. We've had some really good guys that were just phenomenal athletes on top of good wrestlers and worked really hard. But Gable is just completely focused on the process and improvement, and he loves doing that as much as he likes competing. So there is no limit for a guy like that.
1, 2, slip 2.
We drill a lot, whether it's at just normal practice like before or like here, and he teaches me a lot just about work ethic and yeah.
Was the very beginning up here, and then slowly goes down. So that was probably like what, 3 or 4, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. This is when I started to really pick it up, and then kind of moved over here, and this is probably 6th, 7th grade maybe. And then
well, like his determination kind of made me more determined to practice more and like work harder in the gym and like even outside of it. Like he works out so much outside of wrestling, and like kind of during COVID, how much I saw him work out, it made me want to work out more to make sure when I went back I was still just as
This
good.
is Hank. I've had him for what, 2 years? Yeah. Maybe a year and a half. But he's good. He looks big and scary, but he's nice. Sit. Hank. Come. Good boy. Yeah, I'll take him on runs. And I like to go on hikes a lot, so that's always fun to take him along. This was my state champ hat. I don't know from which year, but it's from one of them. I think the other one might be at my mom's. Kind of just keep it up here, especially during wrestling season. I'll have it out, so I just think about getting another one, and it reminds me to push myself every day. So basically, we just go in the locker room, chill, weigh in, and then eat. Today we have a 2-hour weigh-in, so we'll eat and just hang out for about an hour and a half, and then warm up 30 minutes before we compete. Good.
$133.8.
Sell out to score points. Super important. Intensity level, pace is high. Don't hold it back. Let it fly. Tons of offense will bring it out. If something doesn't go our way in the semis, stay tough, stay focused on the backside, because there's always that second chance. Okay? You're never out of it until you're out. Okay? There's always a chance. A lot of action, a lot of pace, no hanging around in our ties, that kind of thing. So like match, keep that right arm heavy, go all day long.
I like to think like before the match, right before the match, he turns into a mean pit bull. He's all nice and fun and games when it's not wrestling, but when it's time to go, he turns it on.
It's not about the outcome, it's more about the performance, things you can control. And he's really mature in that way, and he has been since he came in. You know, he's been a guy that wants to compete at a really high level, and that's what we talk about, not about winning and losing, and he's never let anybody down.
I just walk back and forth trying to clear my head, and I'll go through some of the moves that I do in my head. I'll play it out and what they could do, and then how I could counter that, and just thinking a lot about the match. But then probably 2 minutes, a minute before, I really try and just clear my mind and kind of let my body take over when I'm out there and not really think about anything. And I think that really works for me. I try to think that it's just a wrestling match and nobody really cares as much as I care. And at the end of the day, it's not a big deal, but it really matters to me. So I just want to get back in the gym and work out harder, wrestle harder, and get better. My name is Gable Porter, and I'm a 2-time state champion.